Good morning. It's Monday the 30th of September 2024 and I've returned to the Wye Valley National Landscape again. But this morning I've come to the wonderful village of Trellech. So my first job is to see if I can get inside the church. St Nicholas Church is a focal point of the village and has an elegant pointed and prominent spire, a font and ancient sundial. The present building dates from the 13th and 14th centuries and is Grade 1 listed. And the answer is no, I can't get inside. Oh well, never mind. Not much I can do about it. I'm sure the church warden lives in Trellech somewhere, but I'm not going to try and seek them out to see if they can let me in, because I've got a walk to do. So, but just have a quick look around the village first. So just here is the wonderful Lion Inn pub. Now, when I was staying in the Wye Valley 6 years ago in 2018, I had a meal in the Lion Inn and it was lovely. So I think whilst I'm staying here this time, I'm going to try and get in there and have a meal too. So look forward to that. It's still very high on the list when you look on TripAdvisor. I think actually it's top of the list for this area, so that says something. Anyway, I will try and get in there at some point. Let's go and have a look and see what's down here then. There might be something of interest here. I don't know. We shall have to see. So this is Tump Terret. I think I can walk onto it, so let's go and have a look. Oh well, you get a nice view, certainly. Look at the view over there. Isn't that lovely? Well, that sign's a bit difficult to read because of all the scratches on it, but the older one I think I can just about read. Tump Terret's Castle Mound. This man-made motte dates back to the 13th century, when Trellech was a large town ruled by a Norman lord. A wooden castle was built on top, and below was the bailey where the soldiers' huts stood. It was surrounded by a fence and moat, and may have stood for most of the century before being destroyed in a Welsh attack. A couple of things I want to see before I start the walk properly. Just down here. So this carving is actually, it's more or less a map of Trellech. There's a map on there. There's also carvings of the old Motte and Bailey Castle. There's also other bits and bobs that are around Trellech. So you've got to look a bit carefully because it's a bit weathered now, but there are some interesting things to see on it. And of course on the top you've got a sundial. So there's just one more thing down here. Just got to cross the road in a minute and I'll see what it is. So these are the 3 stones. 1, 2 and 3, otherwise known as Harold stones. Harold stones background. Trellech takes its name from these stones. Tri, which is Welsh for 3, and Chlech, meaning a flat stone, so Trellech. They are made of quartz conglomerate stone, known as pudding stone, common to the area. This sign's a bit scratched too, but I'll read what I can. Beliefs. It was believed that they marked the spot where 3 British chieftains fell in battle with Harold. However, they predate Harold by 2,000 years, as they were erected 3,500 years ago in the Bronze Age. Legend says Jack of Kent and the Devil were having a contest. Jack jumped from the Sugarloaf Mountain near Abergavenny to the Skirrid, where his heel marks can still be seen. The Devil was not impressed, so Jack in his rage threw 3 large stones some 13 miles to Trellech. Okay, that's Harold stones. I'm going to start the walk now. From the B4293, I followed Catbrook Road to head south, and just after a few metres, I discovered something else of interest. The lost city of Trellech. This was only discovered in recent years. Let's go have a look and see what the sign says. Discovered a few years ago, the site of the lost city of Trellech lies in the heart of the Welsh countryside, on the hills above the Wye Valley. An industrial town producing iron principally for the de Clare army, it began life in 1245 AD and grew rapidly to become approximately a quarter of the size of London. The death of the de Clares in 1314 weakened it, and the subsequent effects of climate change, plague and war saw it decline further. The present site is part of an ongoing excavation. Already the foundations of several houses, including one manor house with a round tower and well, have been discovered. All the buildings so far have been built in stone. So I'm heading for Catbrook. Continuing towards Catbrook, I turned off the lane as I reached a junction of paths signposted for Ninewells Wood to the left, but my way was straight ahead. So I'm here in the Wye Valley for another week. I'm spending 5 nights this time. I'm staying in a bed and breakfast in Monmouth, but this is another place that I'd booked towards the end of last year, so very well planned in advance, this one. I think I actually only booked it originally for 3 nights, but then I decided that my budget was looking good, so I decided to extend it for another 2 nights. So yeah, I've got 5 nights here, so hopefully I'll be able to do about 5 walks whilst I'm here, depending on the weather. We'll see. In a little over half a mile, my path emerged onto a lane in Catbrook. Catbrook Village Green. This plot of land is registered Village Green and is registered with Gwent County Council. Well, this is obviously a very old sign because Gwent County Council hasn't been around for years now, so it's Monmouthshire County Council. The lane led me out of Catbrook, running parallel to the brook after which the village is named. Soon I took a path on the left, signposted for where I was heading next. Well, I've arrived at Whitestone, and Whitestone is in Bargain Wood, and I remember coming through here with my granddad years ago. We used to come up this lane here, past Whitestone, and we used to go and visit friends of the family. But I don't know what it was about Bargain Wood, I just loved driving through here. There's something very sort of mysterious about it, peaceful, it's just lovely. It's always been another favourite spot really, another favourite spot in this part of the Wye Valley. Can't explain why, but I wanted to make sure that today's walk incorporated a visit to Bargain Wood. Absolutely wonderful. I've also joined another section of the Wye Valley Walk, so I'm going to follow a bit of the Wye Valley Walk as it circles around part of Bargain Wood. This has got to be one of the highlights of today's walk. I know it's a bit murky and there's a bit of rain about at the moment, but that is still an amazing view. Well, I think this is the only part on today's walk that I'm going to be able to see a view of the River Wye. I mean, I can't even see the river now, but it is down there. It's down there, but it's just hidden by the trees, unfortunately. However, it's still a fantastic view, so I can't fault it. The village of Landogo is just below as well, so you can't see that either, but I could just stand here and just look at that view all day. Okay, well, I think I'm going to get out of the rain and find somewhere to sit and have my sandwich. Here's another viewpoint. Wonderful. I couldn't remember if there was another viewpoint or not, but obviously there is. Now, that's equally as lovely as the first view we saw, but from here you can just see a bit of the River Wye if you look carefully. And the third and final viewpoint here in Bargain Wood. I didn't realise there were so many viewpoints. I thought there was only one, but there you go. It's a long time since I was last here. Anyway, this is undoubtedly the best view of the River Wye. You can see it clearly from here. Absolutely wonderful. Okay, I really am going to get on now. Well, this part I remember very well. It's a lovely part of the path where it's bordered by a wall on either side. Yeah, very pretty indeed. I think the trees have grown a bit since I was last here. I was saying that was 30 years ago. I'm just down here. I'm looking forward to seeing something which I hope I can see. I'm not sure because, as I say, the trees have grown a bit, but let's have a look and see. That cottage there, that's the one, that's what I wanted to see. But when I was here 30 years ago, it was painted pink. I always remember when I was filming here with my friends Michael and Richard, and me and Richard were laughing about the fact that we were filming a pink cottage. But it still looks lovely, even though it's white now. Look at that. Cleddon Falls. Absolutely fantastic. And I've come here at the right time again after recent rain, because the falls are in full force today. I was here 6 years ago, but I thought, well, whilst I'm passing, it would be rude of me not to stop and have another look.
From the top of Cleddon Falls, I continued along the Wye Valley Walk for another third of a mile or so, as far as a junction of paths and forest tracks.
So this is where I leave the Wye Valley Walk for today. That route continues through Cuckoo Wood, and I'm turning off and going up this way. Let's go.
After a further half a mile, I emerged from the wood, turned left along a track and headed west across the slopes of Beacon Hill. At a bench, I went slight right off the track, along a narrow path through the trees.
I am now on the summit of Beacon Hill. Bagged another trig point. As I say, I'm not particularly worried about bagging trig points, but when I pass them, I'll bag them. Oh, someone's left their water bottle there. I wonder how long that's been there. I never know what to do when I see things like this. I always think, well, shall I pick it up and take it with me and hand it in somewhere, or do I just leave it, because maybe the people that left it are not far away and they'll hopefully come back for it. Just never know, really. I just think it's easier to leave it. Anyway, so I'm on the top of Beacon Hill, although I believe it also might be known as Trellech Beacon. No views, unfortunately. Just views of the woods, which is fine. However, if I carry on walking through the woods, I think I might see some views then. I've definitely got a good view here. Welcome to Beacon View. By taking in this magnificent view of the Welsh hills, you are walking in the footsteps of thousands of tourists on their way to or from the Wye Valley. When the Victorians started the fashion of touring Britain, they were inspired by William Gilpin's book, Observations on the River Wye, published in 1782. Well, even though it's been quite a grey day today generally, and we've had rain on and off, the views over there are fantastic. See right into Wales towards the Black Mountains. So that includes the Sugarloaf and the Skirrid. Fantastic. And just immediately below us, you can't see it, is Trellech, but again, hidden by the trees. Okay, well, I'm getting towards the end of my walk now, so I'm going to make my way back towards Trellech.
From Beacon View, I walked along the path and descended to a car park, beyond which I emerged onto a lane. Following it downhill, I turned right at a T-junction as I headed for Trellech.
Okay, well, I'm on the outskirts of Trellech again now, so I'm nearly at the end of my walk. However, there's just one more thing I want to see, just through here. If I can open this double gate. Oop. And oop. Okay, I think I managed it. Yeah. Okay. So just through here then. So this is the Virtuous Well. complete with a seat. Except that it's been raining and it's wet, so I'll get a wet bum. Yeah, fascinating. Let's have a look and see what the notice says about the Virtuous Well. Once known as St Anne's Well and famous for its cures, it was visited by many pilgrims as late as the 17th century. It is said to be 4 separate springs, 3 containing iron, and each curing a different illness. Its niches held offerings and cups. Stone seats gave rest to the weary traveller. Well, that really is the end of my walk now, and it's been wonderful as always. There's been a bit of rain on and off during the day, but nothing to spoil my walk whatsoever. It's been great. So yeah, I really enjoyed it. So I've just got to walk back into Trellech now and get my car, and then I'm going to check into my B&B in Monmouth, so just a short drive away.